This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah, so cell differences, once again, it's time to understand the cell differences because on that day we did not completely understand with example and all. So today we'll try to go for the cell differences. Okay, so whenever I'm talking about a reference, so what is reference all about? So reference is all about referencing an element, okay, referencing an element or referencing a cell. So as you already know, we have three types of references: relative reference, absolute reference, and a mixed reference. Okay. Now let's say, for example, I have this data. Okay, so let me open the Excel. Hope everyone is practicing. Once again, I'm reminding you, if you are not practicing it, uh, it is waste of your time and my time also. If you are not practicing, you'll not get anything. Okay, so let me be very honest with you. If you are not practicing them, so you are not going to get anything. Okay, right. So now product, quantity, price, amount. So we have the data product. Okay, so product, quantity, price, and amount. So bread, butter, cheese, and hamburger. So there are two. So this is something similar to what we did. Okay, anyhow, once again we will try to do it. Now we'll try to minimize the usage of the mouse. Okay, so we'll try to minimize the usage of the mouse as we are in a stage where we can try to use the mouse very less. Okay, so that is what I'm trying to do. So here I need a product. Okay, I'm not going to use the mouse now. Quantity. Okay, so just moving, just alt tab will get you to the screen. So price and amount. Okay, so here if you observe, so it is going to be quantity. Okay, and use tab, go to the next one. So here you say amount. Okay, so product, price, amount. So here product, bread, butter, bread here, butter here, cheese here, and hamburger. Okay, so ham basically. Okay, so quantity, if you see 2133, so 21, so you can do it on any data. I'm not saying that you have to do on this data only. You can do it on any data. So it is 1.5, so 1.5, 1.2, 2 and 8. So 2 and sorry 1.8. So 1.8. So now you want to get the amount. So amount is basically nothing but, so amount is nothing but you have is equal to, so you have B2. Okay, so B2, so amount is always quantity into price. You open the bracket, so just use B2. Okay, so into C2. Okay, so B2 into C2, just give enter. So what is the amount now? Amount is this. As you know, we can just drag drop with the use of shift shift and drag it down and use control D. Okay, so control D will give you the whole formula. So this is now 3. So we have B2, B2, C2, and here B3, C3, and here B4, C4, and here B5, C5. So what is this basically? This is going to be the absolute this is going to be the, sorry, this is going to be the relative reference. Okay, so in relative reference, what happens in the relative reference, if you can look at here, so we have different references. Okay, so this is referencing these two columns, this is referencing these two columns, so this is referencing these two columns. Okay, so and whenever I'm talking about this, okay, so whenever I'm talking about this, so we are referencing this here, we are referencing this here, and we are referencing this here, and it is B5 into C5. So that is how you have the relative reference. Okay, so relative reference. Okay, So when I'm talking about relative reference, so this is the way that we generally look at the relative reference. Okay, now coming to the absolute reference. In the absolute reference, now here if you observe, we have length and width. Okay, length, we have some conversion rate here. Okay, so we are converting centimeter to inch. Okay, so when somebody is doing some conversion, so there is only one value that is used to convert. Okay, so which is basically 0.3937008. Okay, so 3937008, so which is going to be the conversion rate. So now in all the rows, okay, in all the rows we have to use the same value. Okay, so in all the rows we have to use this same value. So for that, what we'll do is we'll use a dollar symbol. Okay, so we use a dollar symbol in front of the column letter. So what is the column letter here? H is the column letter, and row number. Okay, so column letter before column letter and before the row number, so you are using it, so you are going to use it. Okay, so that is called as the that is called as what? So that is called as the absolute reference. Okay, so absolute reference. So in order to have the absolute reference, we go for dollar symbol. Okay, so dollar before the column letter and column before the row letter also, I mean row number also. Okay, right. So in order to do this again, we will go for, okay, so we'll go for the same thing. Okay, so in the same page I want to do it. So length, width. Okay, length in centimeter, and you have width also in centimeter. Okay, so then 110, 510, 48, 210. So 110, 210, okay, 510, sorry. So 510, 48, 210. So I'm hard coding. Anyhow, you can use it. You can use any data for that matter. So 2 and 10. Okay. So these are the things. Now you go for the width. So width, sorry, you go for the inch. Okay, you can go for the inch. So now what you can do, if you want to copy the same, you can copy here and put it over here. And what you can change over here, you can change this to inch, right? And here you can go for inch. Okay, so then what you have to observe here, we have to see the conversion rate. So conversion rate is 0.3937008. 0.3937008. Okay, conversion rate. So you are doing 0.3937008. Okay. Now what I want to do is I want to convert this length. Okay, so I want to convert this length and this width into inches. So in order to convert that, I need to multiply this length by this conversion rate. Okay, I need to multiply this by conversion rate. Okay, so what I'll do here is I'll say is equal to, I will select A2. Okay, so A9, sorry. So A9, okay, into, suppose if I am giving H, okay, if I am giving H9, so what will happen? If I just drag it, so it will be, so it will be 0. Why 0? Because here you don't have any values, so you are giving a relative reference. But what I want absolute reference. So in order to get the absolute reference, I can go for the dollar symbol, and here also I can go for the dollar symbol. Okay, so first one result will be the same, and then for the other ones also you get the same result. Okay, so you get the same result. So if you just look at them, so if you see, these are the same results. Okay, so these are the same result that you are getting here. Okay, so same thing here also. So you can go for width. So you want to convert the width now. So width b9 into, so what you can say here, you can say dollar, okay, so h dollar 9. Okay, so here control T. Okay, so in this way you are going to get the bit. So this is what is called the absolute reference. Okay, so absolute reference, so that's how you get the absolute reference done. Okay, so who is fixed now? Who is fixed here? So the fixed one is going to be this. Okay, so fixed one is going to be this. Now for example, if you observe h9, here also 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 h9, h9, h9. So it's literally what happens here. So everything will be like fixed. So all those columns will be fixed. So when I'm talking about the fixed, so this is the way that we are going for the fixed one. So whenever I'm talking about fixed one here, so the fixed one is going to be this. Okay. Okay. So that's how we are taking the things into consideration. Okay. So now we will talk about the mixed reference. So what is a mixed reference? Mixed reference is nothing but, now for example, we need a combination of relative and absolute. Relative and absolute. So now for example, if I want, let's say, uh, I want to fix this column. Okay, fix the column. Okay, so fix the column and fix the number. Okay, so Jan. Okay, so first let us understand the data, so then we will go for it. Okay, so this is the data, so let's build the data first. Okay, I'll go down a bit and I will take product and price. Okay, so product and price. So here I'll say jeans. Jeans is going to be 80. So jeans is going to be 80, and down there shirts you have. So shirts you have. So shirts is going to be 30. Okay. So then prices per month, but you have the month reduction also. So in January you give 20% discount, in February you give 40% discount, in March you give 80% discount. Then what will be the rate? So what will be the rate of each product? Okay, what will be the rate of each product? So when you are giving this uh, deduction, or you can say um, the discounts. So month and reduction. Reduction means discount. Okay, so I'll say discount. So that is better. So discount. So here in Jan, you give a 20% discount. In Jan, you give a 20% discount. Okay. So again, this percentage, whenever you are talking about the percentage, so it should be a percentage here. Okay. If it is not changed automatically, please try and change it. It will automatically change, no problem. But if it is not changing also, you can do it. Okay. So Feb here is 40%. March is 80%. So March is going to be 80%. Okay. So March is going to be 80%. And here again, now you need to you need to check the prices of each month. Okay. So prices and month. Okay. So and one more thing here. So month. So we have a technique to do it diagonal. Uh, so prices month. I forgot the technique. Okay, anyhow, I'll show it. So prices month. So here you give, okay. So here you give jeans and shirt. Okay. So and shirts, jeans and shirts. Then you can give something like Jan, Feb, and March. Okay. So these are the three things that you need to give. Now you have to tell the price. Okay. So this is the original price, and you have to give the discounted price on the shirt, which is 20%. So you have to give the 20% in Jan, okay, 40% in Feb, and 80% in March. Okay, so those are the things that you have to uh, do. Okay, right. Then uh, right. So now you can go for is equal to, so this is fixed like 80. Okay, into, so what you have to do now, you have to, okay, right. So otherwise so now if you just go down here, now here what we observe, so we observe that we have the price. Okay, we have the price. So now these genes have to be for everything. Okay, so genes have to be for everything. So what you need to do now, so you need to make this be fixed. Okay, so you need to make the b fixed. So this 80 should be the same. Okay, and what you have to do here, you have to say b6. So this is fixed again for all January. This is fixed. Okay, so if I tell you once again, so what is fixed here, 80. Okay, 80 genes, uh, 80 genes in January, 80 genes in February, 80 genes in March. So 80 into, okay, so 80 into, so if I write a formula for your understanding, okay, so this would be 80 into, okay, so I'll write formula. So 80 into, uh, so you have 1 minus, so what is this 1 minus basically? Okay, now for example, if I'm asking you to find a discount, okay, so if I'm asking you to find a discount on a particular item, so let's say you went to the shop, you bought an item of 70,000 and shopkeeper told you that it is having 25% discount. Okay, now generally what you do, 7,000 minus 7,000 into 25 by 100. Okay, so 25 by 100. So generally this is what you do. Okay, so this 25 by 100 in our case is nothing but 25%. So 25%. So now how can I write this? 7,000 minus 1 into 25%. Okay, 7,000 minus 1 into 1 minus. So 7,000 minus, so 1. Okay, so if you go for 1 minus, not into, 7,000 into 1 minus 25%. Okay, means if you write this, so this would be 7,000 minus 7,000. Okay, so into 25%. So if you are doing some formula, okay, so if you are doing some formula, so it would be, so generally what you do, 7,000 minus 7,000 into 25 by 100, right? Okay, so now you take 7,000 common. Okay, 7,000 common. So if you are taking 7,000 common here, so it is going to be 1 minus, okay, so 1 minus, okay, so 7,000, this is 1 minus 25 by 100. Okay, so that is what it is. So 25 by 100 is written like what, 1 minus 25%. Okay, so in this way you are getting the formula. So now in this case, in this particular case, so you are writing the same. So 1 minus what? 1 minus 20%. 1 minus 20%. Okay. So in this way. So you are writing like this. Okay. Okay. So you are getting 64, right? So now if you drag it, so it would be same because you are using this. Now this 80 must be substituted by, okay, so this 80 must be substituted by, okay, so now this 80 must be substituted by what? This 80 must be substituted by the column B and column B and row 18, column B and row 18. Okay, so column B and row 18. Okay, means it is B18. Okay, so B18. So B18. Okay, now until now also it is fine. B18. But if I'm doing it for uh, this, so it also will give you B18 only. Okay, but I don't want that. So what I want here, I want this 80 to be carried forward for February also, for March also. Then what I will do, I will make this B fixed. I'll make this D and make this B fixed. Okay, so I'll make this B fixed. So B is fixed and this is the row number. Okay, so it's a row number. So B18. Okay. Now 20%. So where I'm getting the 20% again? B. Okay, so 22. So now what is fixed here? What is fixed here? So 22. Now what is fixed here? So B is going to be B. Okay, uh, dollar. Okay, so what is the percentage here? 22. So 22. Okay, so B dollar 22. So okay, 1 second, percentage not required here. So B 22. So you got 64, right? So now for example, if I'm dragging into February, okay, so into shirts, so into shirts, so into shirts, what happened? I got 30. So now you got dollar B fixed. So B is fixed. Okay, 19. You got 19. Okay, and again here, what is the percentage? January percentage is still 20 only. So what is fixed? B is fixed and dollar. I'm sorry, B is same, and you are getting dollar 22. Okay, so in that way you are trying to have this. Okay, so B dollar 22. So 22. So this is the combination. So this is the combination of mixed and absolute reference basically. Okay, so in that way you are going to drag this. Okay, so when you drag this, so generally what happened here? 48. So how you got 48 here? B18 1 minus C. So C is not fixed, no, so C is not fixed. So what you are getting here? You are getting C, and here you are getting D. Okay, B C D. Okay, so same thing happens with this also, and same thing happens with this also. Okay, so here if you observe, it is dollar B18 1 minus B dollar 22. So if you observe here, so B dollar B18 into 1 minus C dollar 22. So now hope you are understanding why practice is very very important. So if you are not practicing enough, so these things will be literally tough. Okay, so that is why I'm asking you to go for it. So if you want to see the example, the result now, so if you see the result, so this is the result. Okay, so 64, 48, 16, 24, 18 and 6. Okay, so if you try to read this, you will get. So we don't place a dollar symbol in front of the row number of dollar B2. We allow the reference to change from B2 to B3. Okay, so B2, B3. So B is like fixed. Okay, so but this can change. 2 to 3, it can change. Okay, the similar way we don't put a dollar symbol in front of the column letter. because this percentage will change. But what should not be? So the row number should not be. So for Jan it will be sorry, B, C and D. Okay, so in this way you are going to have the references. Okay, right. So this is all about wherever you want to do it, you can apply this referencing. Very important and very useful. Okay, then okay. So next, date and time functions. Okay, so date and time functions. Whenever I'm talking about date and time functions, so generally what we look at various formats. Okay, so various formats. Now, for example, sorry. So now, for example, if I want to put some date here, okay. So let's say let me put today's date. So 28/8/2024. Okay. So this becomes general. Okay, as you can see, we have the general. Okay, so we have the general. So we can select. Now, for example, I want to select short date. So I have declared this as a date. Okay, so when you go for a date, okay, so when you go for a date, so you can have various options. Okay, so you can do it anywhere you want. Okay, so this calendar type is Gregorian English. So you can also have it different formats. Okay, so you can have it in different formats also. Okay, so it's a date. So this is a format. So suppose if you want this date to be something like this. Okay, say okay, it's not changing. Okay, English India. Okay, okay, so something like this. Okay, so when you look at different dates, so something like this, to enter the date, you can use, so while entering, you can use something like this. So slash or hyphen. Okay, so now for example, you want to go for a time, you can go for this. If you want to combine all of them, you can go for this. And as I told you, you can make a date of yourself like this. Okay, so then automatically it should change like this. Okay, so it can happen in your system. Maybe there's something issue with my okay. So in that way you can work with the dates. Okay, so if you want to get the year, okay, so you can just directly use that year of EA1. Okay, so there are some of the functions. So suppose if you are trying to have date of year of EA1 plus 4, month of EA1 plus 2, day of EA1 plus 9, means you can have something like uh, some functions. Okay, some date functions. So whenever I'm trying to talk about the date function, okay, let me just have a simple example. Let's say 15 days from here. Okay, so 15 days from here, so is equal to date of, okay, so date of year. Okay, so date of year, so here year of, okay, so year of A1. Okay, so year of A1 means A30. Okay, so 4 years from now. Okay, so 4 years from now. So A30 plus 4, sorry, comma month of so month of year 30 so month of year 30 just only 4 years I want to put sorry 30 plus 4 month of 30 and day of year 30 second so date of so this is become date okay so you want to use this year of year 30 plus 4 month day correct only no? So day year so okay so we will try to change the day format okay so 08/28 so I think date format is a mistake somewhere okay you can try it so you have the material also so you can try it okay so otherwise is equal to now okay so now we'll just generally give you the today's date okay fine so here again I will use so date of uh, so year of A30 comma month of A30 and day of A30 okay right fine so I don't know previously why it was not coming so I want to go for plus 4 years okay so after 4 years so this is after 4 years so 4 years 4 months so 4 years 4 months okay so 4 years 4 months so 4 years 4 months 10 days let's say so 4 years 4 months 10 days okay so like this you can change the dates so as you increase you it will go to uh, next year so that is why a little bit of adjustments are being done here so in this way you can work with the day I mean work with the date okay same thing you can work with the time also okay so time of hour and all you can work with okay next we'll talk about the text functions so text functions means we have joining of the strings okay so to join the strings we can use the and operator okay so and operator so and operator is used for joining the strings okay so and space and b1 so and space and b1 okay so and space and b1 so we are joining the two strings okay we are joining the two strings okay so we are joining two strings okay so and is used for joining the two strings basically okay so now for example I have hello team okay so now I want to join them okay so what I can use is equal to so a1 and a2 okay so this becomes hello team okay so now in middle you can have some kind of operations okay so you can use double quotes so hello team okay so something like this okay so in this way you can go for this so so you can also use concatenate function okay so you can also use concatenate function. So how can I go for the concatenate function? So is equal to concat. So is equal to concat. So concatenate rather. So concatenate. Okay. So what all you want to concatenate? This one, comma this one. That is also. So that is also is fine. Okay. So in this way also you can go for it. Okay. Just hold on. Sorry. So that is going to be a string. So now you want to get the leftmost characters. So left of a1 comma 4 means, so these four characters will come into the picture. Okay. So then you have the right of two characters means, so this way you'll get. Okay. So when you are saying mid 5 to 3, you are having from 5, so 0 1 2 3. Okay, sorry, 1 2 3 4 5. So from 5 3 characters. Okay, so started at 5 position with length 3. Okay, so length means definitely it will get the length. So find am. Where is am here? Am is like 1 2 3. Okay, so am is like 1 2 3. So substitute means it will substitute Tim with John. Okay, so these are the things again I'm telling you. uh, so you have to practice. So if you don't practice these things, it will be very difficult for you to understand. So I'm giving you all the notes and everything. Please check the drive I'm giving. So you just go with the understanding of it. Okay, right, thank you.